don't teach your children that you have to be twice as good as a white. That's an awful thing to teach a child. That's like saying because you're black, white America has a right to change your dollar for 94 cents. But we used to get 50 cents, and before that we used to get nothing. Young folks have to say, we don't want more change for $1. Excuse me, we want a full dollar's change for $1, or this cash register will never ring again.
Yes.
I would also like for young blacks to understand that about 83% of all employment happen with small businesses. And excuse me, if you don't have a small business, then you have nobody to work for you. And I would say to young blacks, get into entrepreneurship. We will never catch up with white America till we get into business, because there's a thing called tax write-offs. Tax write-offs.
Yo, what's up, guys? Doing a non-Amazon load. Another one. It's pretty good, paying almost $4 a mile. The bad thing is I actually have to, let me turn these lights off. The bad thing is I actually have to store the items in my truck for like 3 days. And if you're asking, am I getting paid for it? It's okay. You know what I'm saying? The money is okay. For 3 days, it's not as good as I would want it to be. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was moving too fast, and I ended up booking this load because basically I seen it on the load board. I seen it was, local, something I could do real quick. And so the load board that I used was C.H. Robinson, and they actually ended up, so C.H. Robinson is kind of similar to Amazon in a sense. You know how, for people who are doing Amazon already, if you go on the Amazon load board, obviously you press book and you confirm booking, right? So with C.H. Robinson, you have two different options. Either you can book the load at the amount that they're offering, or you can offer another amount. And so, what I typically do, so if the load is good as is, I'll just go ahead and book it. This is actually my second load getting through them. But if the load is, it could be better, I'll offer. And so what'll happen is, I guess they have it set in the parameters as to what they'll accept, what they won't accept. And so you go ahead, put in how much you want to offer them. And then within 10 seconds, you know whether or not they accept your offer or not. And if they don't accept your offer, the only other option that you have is to basically accept the offer that they already have on the table. And so you got to make that offer a good one. Otherwise, it's not happening. I've offered on loads many times before, and I didn't get any of them offered except for that one that, the one other one I did. Or actually I didn't end up doing, actually, I just thought about it. I think it ended up getting canceled or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, so this is actually, so I would say this is actually my first one I did off C.H. Robinson. And it's like I said, the load board is similar to Amazon, where you can book. The good thing about it is you can actually offer more and actually get more money. Whereas Amazon, you're kind of like stuck, where that is, or you can, wait for the load to mature. So yeah, I'm just sitting up here. It's going to be picking up some bottle caps. The commodity is like some bottle caps, things. It's probably it's roughly rounded up. It's probably 5,000 pounds. Not too heavy. 12 pallets. Honestly, what my hope is that, based off the mathematical equation I had in my head, if it's almost 5,000 pounds, that means if it's 12 pallets, that means that each that means that each pallet is approximately 600 pounds. So if that is the case, and the pallets are 600 pounds and they're not too tall, I'm gonna try to offload these joints. I'm gonna just be honest with y'all. I'm gonna try to offload these joints, store them in a facility, and get money in between time. And then when it's time to go deliver it in like 3 days, I'm gonna just load it up. I'm gonna just load it up and go take it to its destination. Because have it just sit on my truck for 3 days is just not a good idea. So I hope it works out. I'll let you guys know in a couple of days if it works out, because one thing they could throw, one monkey wrench they could throw into the game is they could put a seal on the door, which if they put a seal on it, I'm gonna have to call the broker and negotiate my rate, because at that point what they're saying is we own your truck for the next 3 days basically. And it's a dedicated delivery, and basically, I have no other option but to keep the load on my truck. If they don't seal it, which I don't believe they will, because it's bottle caps and stuff, it's nothing super expensive. I'm gonna, try to do something else. In addition to that, I'm gonna give them my business card, because I also sell alkaline water. And it's called Kangen water. I don't know if you guys are up on that. But if you are, if you know, you know. If you don't, man, you better get on it. And just real quick, it's the same water that Stephen Curry drinks. It's the same water that Kevin Hart has talked about in radio show interviews. Yes, I am an independent distributor of that water and the machines that produce the water. So yeah, man, you gotta do everything, man. But for this water, it's a real big health thing. I mean, I don't know if you can see how beautiful my skin is. Hello, but it's because of the water. So anyway, off on back to trucking. So yeah, just getting this load done. About to see what we can do. We about to work it out, y'all. So I'll let you know how I work it out, because I always do. James backwards, and I'm out. All right, guys. So this is me loading up the truck right after this last video. I'm gonna load all the pallets up. I decided to do a voiceover to explain to you what exactly happened with this load. I attempted to get this load into my garage. However, the load ended up being probably 1.5 to 2 inches too tall to fit into my garage, unfortunately. So I was unable to do that. So I called around. Actually, I didn't call around, but as God would have it, I ran into another one of my owner-operators, friends, associates, people I do business with. Randy, shout out, bro. Appreciate you. He allowed me to store these 12 pallets in his shop, and then I was able to do loads in between the 3 days that I was supposed to hold on to these pallets. So yeah, he allowed me to do so. So I thought that was pretty cool. I'm glad it worked out, but next time, or should I say, I'm going to be looking at the drop-off time and seeing if it's a different date than the pickup time. I'm not really sure why brokers are doing that, having the pickup and drop-off, 3 days separate from the pickup. Because especially if the load is like really close to if the drop off is really close to the pickup, it doesn't really make sense to me for them to do that. But this broker did. I actually attempted to drop off the load early multiple times. I did get in contact with C.H. Robinson finally They only had email access. They didn't have a phone number for me to contact for this specific load. And so I finally got in contact with someone to drop the load off early. I think it was a day early or 2 days early. And when I finally got confirmation to drop this load off, it was actually way too late to pick the load up and go drop off, because the load was a little bit over 200 miles away from me. So I would have had to had advance notice to have the load put back on my, me put the load back on the truck, me take the load 200 miles, drop it off, and then be able to make it back home. So that didn't work out, dropping it off early. It probably would have worked if I would have left the load on my truck, but I wanted to get, there was no telling whether they were going to confirm me dropping the load off earlier or not. I tried to call the location where I was dropping this stuff off and tried to rearrange another scheduled appointment to drop off with them. They ended up telling me that I had to keep the appointment. So then, never say never, never accept no, right, guys? So what I ended up doing is I ended up calling C.H. Robinson. C.H. Robinson called them and actually changed the load for me. Unfortunately, it was too late for me to make it out there 200 miles from my location. So I had to change the load into the time that I could actually do it, which ended up being the same exact day which it was for anyway. So anyway, so I know in the future, how to do that, and that's what I'll be doing. So again, guys, never say no. Never accept no for an answer, should I say, and get what you need to get done, no matter the circumstances. Okay, always ask questions, and make sure that you keep your mentality positive of the outcome of any situation. Okay, all right, and James backwards, and I'm out.